The laughter always came before the pain. That morning at Marigold Academy, I could already hear it echoing down the hallway as I walked towards class, the kind of laughter that sticks to your back like wet gum. My heart pounded faster than my feet. I knew what was coming. Everyone did. Look at him, Mr. Donut. That was David Moyo's voice, the one I hated most. His friends, Emmanuel and Kunle, burst into laughter behind him, loud enough for the whole corridor to hear. I kept walking, pretending not to notice. Hey, wait up, David called again. Where are you rushing to? The cafeteria isn't even open yet. Laughter erupted again. I bit my lip hard and stared at the tiled floor, counting steps like a soldier marching to war. My backpack straps dug into my shoulders, sweat already gathering at my temples. All I wanted was to reach the class, drop my bag, and disappear into the back seat. But David had other plans. He stopped in front of me, tall and lean, his expensive cologne mixing with that smug grin. Korede, are you sure you are not eating this bag too? He said, poking my stomach. It's almost as big as your future. The hallway exploded with laughter. Even some juniors laughed as they passed. I felt my throat tighten, my ears burned. David, please stop, I said quietly. I'm not in the mood. Oh, he's not in the mood, Emmanuel mocked, pretending to wipe fake tears. Big boy isn't in the mood. Come on, sing for us, choir master. Maybe your voice will help you lose some weight. They pushed me lightly, then harder. My books fell to the floor. Someone kicked my lunchbox across the corridor, and the sound of my fork clattering echoed like thunder in my chest. Then someone I don't even know who shouted, Go eat your lunch, Korede. It's calling your name. The laughter rose again, like waves crashing over me. I blinked fast, trying not to cry. Not here, not in front of them. Then a voice cut through the noise. Will you all just stop it already? It was Tiana Adeyemi, my only friend in that whole school. She stood in front of me, her tiny frame trembling with anger, her braids swinging as she glared at David. You think you're funny? You're just being cruel. David smirked. Tiana, relax. We're just joking. That was not a joke, she snapped. You're just being mean. David laughed again, brushing imaginary dust off his designer blazers. Please go sit down. You always like defending him. That last line stung worse than anything else, not because of the words, but because everyone laughed again. Everyone except Tiana. I bent down silently, gathering my scattered books. My hands shook, my throat ached. I didn't even look up. Not when Tiana tried to help me, not when the bell rang, not even when David muttered, Big baby, as I walked away. That was the last day I ever went to school. At home, I locked myself in my room for hours, then days, then weeks. My parents knocked, begged, pleaded. My mother cried. My father called in therapists, school counselors, even the principal, but nothing worked. I didn't want to see anyone, didn't want to hear anyone, didn't want to be me anymore. Sometimes I'd stand in front of the mirror and stare at my face, my chubby cheeks, round chin, soft belly, and I'll whisper, You're right, you're disgusting. I didn't sing anymore. I didn't write. I barely ate anything that wasn't sweet. Somehow, sugar became the only thing that made me feel okay for a few seconds before guilt replaced it. Then one night, scrolling through my phone, I stumbled on a video that changed everything. It was a man, probably in his 20s, showing a photo of his younger self, overweight, bullied, broken, and then his current self, fit, confident, smiling. The caption said, Same person, different story. I didn't lose weight to be loved, I did it to love myself. I watched it 5 times, my heart raced. I don't know why, but I cried. The kind of tears that come from somewhere deep, buried under years of laughter that wasn't funny. That night, I decided to change my life. The next morning, I told my parents I wanted to start therapy and a fitness plan. They didn't even hesitate. They hired a personal trainer and a nutritionist, and my therapist, Dr. Falake, became my best ally. She never told me what to do, she just listened. Korede, she said one day, Your body isn't the enemy, but your mind is your battlefield. You can't heal what you keep hating. I started waking up early, running in our estate, sweating until my chest burned. I stopped hiding food in my drawer. I started writing again, recording myself singing in private. Slowly, I began to feel alive again. It took months, months of failure, tears, and aching muscles, but I didn't stop. The day I stood on the scale and realized I'd lost 20 kilograms, I smiled for the first time in forever. Diana called often, though I barely picked up at first, but she never stopped checking in. She'd send messages like, "Hey, I know you're trying. I'm proud of you." Sometimes that was all I needed to keep going. By the time I finished homeschooling, I wasn't the same boy anymore. I wasn't thin yet, not fully, but I was strong. My smile was real again. And when I finally got my acceptance letter to study business management at the University of London, I cried in my mother's arms. The next years that followed changed me completely. I built a routine. I worked out daily, ate clean, learned confidence. My body reshaped, but more than that, my spirit transformed. The mirror no longer scared me. It inspired me. By graduation, I'd become someone I never thought I could be: fit, confident, mentally healed, and deeply grateful. For nothing could have prepared me for what came next. When I returned to Nigeria, I was no longer the boy they laughed at. I was Korede Adiaga, 25, CEO of Adeoga Holdings, and the youngest man to triple a billion naira business in just 3 years. My parents barely recognized me. "My son," my father said, holding my face in disbelief. "You look like a movie star." I laughed, more like someone who finally learned to love himself. A few months later, I got an email. Subject: Marigold Academy Reunion, class of 2015. At first, I ignored it, but something deep inside me told me to go, not to prove anything, but to close that chapter properly. The reunion was at the Orchid Hall, a luxurious event center in Lekki. As I walked in, the chatter, laughter, and old school songs filled the air. Everyone looked older, polished, dressed to impress. At one table, I heard someone say my name. "Do you think Korede will show up?" Emmanuel asked. David scoffed. "That one? I doubt it. He's probably still hiding. You remember how he used to sweat over everything?" "I'm sure nothing has changed." He laughed exactly like before. Then the doors opened. I stepped in, silent. Every head turned, glasses paused in the air. Forks froze halfway to mouth. A tall, broad-shouldered man in a fitted black suit walked in. That was me. Same honey brown skin, but sharper jawline, calm eyes, quiet confidence, and when I smiled, people stared like they were seeing magic. "Excuse me," David said, walking towards me, his fake smile twitching. "Sorry, this reunion is for Marigold Academy alumni only. Who invited you?" I looked at him, almost amused. "You did, actually." He frowned. "Me? I don't even know you." "You do," I said softly. "It's Korede Adiaga." The room went silent again. Someone gasped. Tiana from across the room dropped her drink. "Oh my God." "Korede," I smiled. "Hey, Tiana." She rushed towards me, tears in her eyes, and hugged me tightly. "I can't believe this. You look, you look amazing." David's mouth hung open. Emmanuel stuttered. "Wait, wait. This can't be." "It is," I said. "The same Korede you used to bully because he was fat. The same one you laughed at every morning." I looked around the room, not with anger, but calm strength. But I'm not angry. I'm actually grateful. You gave me pain, and that pain gave me purpose. David swallowed hard. "Man, it was just jokes." "No, it wasn't," I interrupted quietly. "But it's fine. I forgave you a long time ago. Just remember, you never know who people will become." The rest of the night was a blur of admiration and awkward apologies. People who once ignored me now wanted to talk. Even David eventually walked up to me, embarrassed. I shook his hand, not because he deserved it, but because I was done carrying bitterness. Later that night, as I stepped outside, Diana walked beside me, smiling. "You really showed them, Korede," she said softly. I smiled back. "No, I showed myself." We stood under the warm glow of the street lights, the sound of faint laughter echoing behind us, not cruel this time, just memories fading away. Never let the laughter of others define your silence. The world may mock your pain today, but time has a way of turning scars into strength. You laughed at Korede, but in the end, Korede laughed last.